Okay, now for this lesson here, what we're going to talk about is the introduction to supply and demand. And what we're going to focus mostly on is what we call change in demand. Okay, so down here, what we have is we have a set of curves here, and this is how we're always going to set up our supply and demand curves. The price will always be on the y-axis, and on the x-axis will always be our quantity. So when we talk about demand, what we're talking about is the quantity of an item that you as a consumer are wanting to demand. So what we will do is over here on the left-hand side, let's go ahead and draw in a little box. And what we're going to put down is what you're willing to pay for, okay, at a given price. So let's number 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. On the right hand side is the quantity of that item that you're willing to pay, or I'm sorry, the price you're willing to pay, and how many of those items are you willing to buy. That's what the word quantity is going to be. Okay. So, what we're going to look at it is in terms of a slice of pizza. Okay. Now, the pizza itself, it doesn't matter what type of pizza it is. Whatever you think pizza is, that's what it is. Thick crust, thin crust, big triangles, small triangles, rectangles, whatever. That's the slice of pizza. So, if a slice of pizza that you're thinking of was priced at $1, how many slices would you be willing to buy? And write a number down. If that slice of pizza was $2, how many would you buy? 3, then 4, 5, and 6. Okay. So as you do this little activity here, I'm not going to hit pause. I'll give you a second to do it. Write down the quantity that you're willing to buy at that given price. So at $1, I like pizza. Okay. So at $1, I'm willing to buy maybe 8 slices of pizza. I'm not saying I'm going to consume them all right now, but I'm willing to buy 8 slices of pizza. $2 a slice, maybe I'll buy 5. At $3 a slice, maybe 2. $4 a slice, 1. $5, maybe nothing. And at 6, 0 is an answer. Okay, because some people don't want to buy any slices of pizza because it gets too expensive. Some people don't like pizza, so all of these would be 0. So in an economy, I do want to know what that is. Where's the cutoff point? So I have all these slices of pizza here that I've bought. But what I've also discovered is I figured out what my definition for quantity demand is and what is the law of demand. Okay. So up here, I'm going to write down the law of demand. And what the law of demand says, at a given price, how much are you willing to consume? So if the price goes up, you are going to consume less of that product. If the price goes down, you are willing to consume more of that product. And that's the law of demand. So if I go back over here and look at my graph, right? Price again is the y-axis, quantity is the x. Here's 0. As price goes up, I'm willing to buy less. As the price goes down, I'm willing to buy more. Okay? That's why my demand curve is slanted, okay, or sloped from left to right, downward sloping. Okay? All right, now what we want to look at is, notice that I have three curves here. Well, what this is trying to show me is that over time, sometimes your demand for goods and services change. Sometimes they increase, sometimes they decrease. Well, to illustrate this, what we want to do is we want to keep all prices the same. So I'm going to draw a dotted line across all three lines here. Okay? And I'm going to assume that I'm starting at letter B. So from this line here, letter B, okay, at this price, I'm willing to consume this quantity. So let's say something happens that it's not a change in the price, but I want to buy more of that item. I would then shift the curve to the right. This would be an example of an increase in my demand curve. If something happens and I buy less of this product, okay, and again, it's not because price changed, a decrease in my demand would show me as I leave and go to the left. That would be a decrease in my demand curve. So what we have to come up with is a set of rules for the shift of demand. What causes that curve to go left or right? So a few years ago, we came up with an acronym that it's a lot easier to remember. And it's called SPITEC. Okay. And in this set of rules, what this allows me to understand is if something occurs and it falls into these rules, that's going to cause the demand curve to go one way or the other. Okay. So for example, the very first letter, S, is what we call the substitution effect. Okay. So sticking with pizza as my example here, a substitute for pizza could be a sandwich, a hamburger, okay? Oops, passing period, okay? But it's the substitution effect. So let's say the price of the hamburger goes down. What happens then to the demand for pizza? Well, the demand for pizza will also go down because it's cheaper. I'm going to buy the other product. That's the substitution effect. The letter P represents population. If there's a change in my population, that's going to cause the demand for my product. Again, think of pizza. If the number of people I'm serving on a normal day is 100 people, and then all of a sudden on a normal day, another bus of people come in to eat, the demand for pizza is going to go up, which is going to shift my curve. The letter I is income effect. Now, this is not price. This means, okay, money in your pocket. Okay, let's say it's payday. You got a little extra money in your pocket. Normally, you'll only buy one or two slices, but today you got a little bit more money. You might buy some more. So the more income you have, that influences how much you're going to buy of a product. The letter T is taste. How much do you like the item? Again, some people really like pizza, and your taste for pizza is different than for other items. But also think of it in terms of the kind of pizza. If we're, again, thinking of that term, you buy of certain variety or certain stores more than others. Okay, so your taste will change. This letter E represents what we call expectation. This is kind of a generic term that we know happens. We know this is going to cause a demand curve, but there's not necessarily a reason. Okay? You expect the demand for that product to go up. Example, more people going out to eat on the weekends. That's an expectation. I expect more people to buy pizza on a weekend than they will during the week. Okay? So that would be an expectation. The letter C represents what we call a complementary good. Okay? These are things that go together. All right? Pizza and breadsticks. Okay? Pizza and pizza sauce. Pizza and a free 2-liter. So buy one pizza, get a free 2-liter. That's going to shift the demand for people wanting to buy more pizza. Okay? So again, if any of these rules down here fall into the category, right, that's going to shift the curve one way or another. All right, now we're going to do some practice here. Okay? Down here at the bottom, I have a list of 8 different headlines. And in these headlines, what they're trying to get across is if one of these events occurs, is this going to shift your demand for that product? Yes or no? If it does, is it going to be an increase or a decrease in your demand? We're always going to start at letter B, so therefore is the curve going to shift to the left or to the right? Therefore, your new curve is going to be either letter A or C if it's a yes, and then what rule would apply, and you would put that letter in here. So again, looking at the very first one here, I'll walk you through this. The price of beef to rise in June. Is that going to cause a shift in my beef consumption in May? The answer is yes. Okay. Is this going to increase or decrease? Well, this is going to actually increase because I know the price is going to go up in June. So therefore, in the month of May, I'm going to buy more beef. Therefore, if it's an increase, I know it's going to go to the right. And my new curve is going to be letter C. Now, as for my rule, it actually could be a couple things. It could be expectation, because I just expect it to happen. But also, some people would think, well, maybe it's your taste because you like to buy it when it's cheaper. Either one of those would be a great reasoning for that. Okay, now take a few moments, finish this paper out, all right, and then I'll put up here the answer key so you can double check your answers. Okay, at the bottom of the page is our answer key here, all right. There's only one of those that is actually a no answer, which is number 5, and I'll explain why here in a moment. All right, so for number 2, that would be a yes, increase, right, new curve C, and that's a population effect. Pork prices drop. If pork prices drop, that means pork is cheaper. Therefore, people are going to buy less beef. So that would be left A, substitution effect. Surgeon General warns that eating beef is hazardous to your health. That's a decrease, left A, expectation or taste. Number 5, beef prices fall, consumers buy more. That is not a shift in the demand. That is just a shift along this curve. I don't know why people or why the price changed, because remember, as I look at this, I only want to look at the change in the quantity to see if there's a shift. I do not want to look over here at the price. Okay? So therefore, this would be a no, and nothing else changes. The curve stays the same. Real income for U.S. drops for the 3rd month. Okay, that would be a decrease, left A, income effect. Charcoal shortage threatens Memorial Day cookouts. Right, I like to have grill out during the month of May. So therefore, A decrease left, A, consumer or complementary good. And then the last one, disco burger. Okay, nice and fat. That's going to increase, right? C, and that's the taste effect. Okay, so understanding how these rules work will allow us to look at any type of thing, a situation, or a headline, and allow us then to determine, is the demand going to shift one way or another or stay the same? Okay, I hope this helped you.